They always knew, before you opened your mouth, before you walked into the room, before you even understood yourself. They felt it. Something in them recognized something in you, and it terrified them. Not because you were dangerous, not because you were loud or aggressive, not because you had done anything wrong, but because you carried something they couldn't name, something ancient, something unmistakable, a light so specific, so undeniable, that even the darkest parts of the people around you had to react. And they reacted with fear, with jealousy, with silence, with sabotage, with distance. They told you something was wrong with you. They made you feel too much, too intense, too sensitive, too different. But what if I told you that everything they attacked in you was exactly what God placed inside you on purpose? What if the rejection wasn't proof you were broken? What if it was proof you were chosen? You are not watching this video by accident. This is not a coincidence. This is a confirmation. Something inside you already knew this moment was coming. Something in you has been waiting for permission to finally believe what you were born to be. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will never see your past pain the same way again, and you will finally understand why your tomb is already empty. If this message found you at the right time, type "chosen" in the comments right now. And if no one has told you lately, you were made for more. Subscribe, you belong here. Part 1. The gift that made you a target. Let's start with the truth no one told you. The things that made your childhood hard were not mistakes. The sensitivity that made people call you too emotional was not a flaw. The depth that made others uncomfortable in your presence was not a burden. It was a blueprint. God doesn't create accidents. He creates assignments. And the assignment placed inside you was so powerful, so disruptive to ordinary patterns, so threatening to comfortable mediocrity, that even the people who loved you sometimes tried to shrink you. Think back. Think about the moment someone first told you to be quiet, to calm down, to stop dreaming so big, to be realistic. They weren't protecting you. They were protecting themselves. Because your presence, your vision, your energy reminded them of what they had abandoned in themselves. You were a mirror, and people destroy mirrors when they don't like what they see. This is why the chosen ones are always the most misunderstood people in the room. This is why you spent years wondering what was wrong with you, when the real question was, what was right with you that they couldn't handle? The lion doesn't apologize for its roar. The river doesn't apologize for its depth. And you are never supposed to apologize for the magnitude of what God put inside your soul. Here is what I want you to understand right now. Every person who doubted you was an unwilling prophet. Every rejection letter, every betrayal, every time someone walked away without explanation, they were all pointing you in the exact direction of your destiny. The target on your back wasn't a curse, it was a compass. And every arrow they aimed at you only sharpened the warrior that was being forged inside you the entire time. Don't stop watching, because what comes next will reframe every wound you've ever carried.
Part 2. Why darkness always attacks light first. You need to understand something about spiritual law. Darkness doesn't attack weakness. Darkness attacks light. If you have been attacked, misunderstood, isolated, betrayed, abandoned, it is because something in the unseen world recognized what was inside you before you recognized it yourself. Think about that. The enemy doesn't waste arrows on targets that pose no threat. He aims at the ones who carry assignments that could change generations. And you have been under fire since before you understood why. Some of you were targeted in childhood, in families that should have protected you, in environments that should have nurtured you. But instead of nurturing what was inside you, they tried to neutralize it. because light that doesn't know its power is light that can be controlled. And they needed you controllable. They needed you small. They needed you doubtful. They needed you silent. Because a chosen one who discovers their assignment cannot be stopped, cannot be contained, cannot be redirected. And that possibility, that potential, was the most dangerous thing they had ever encountered. So they came for you early. They planted seeds of self-doubt. They surrounded you with voices that whispered you weren't enough. They made you feel foreign in your own story. But here is the part they didn't account for. Fire doesn't kill the chosen. Fire refines them. Every attack that was designed to destroy you became the very furnace that forged your strength. Every season of isolation became a season of preparation. Every period of silence became a library of wisdom. You were not being punished in those dark seasons. You were being prepared. And what God prepares, what God seals, what God anoints, no human hand can permanently undo. The darkness saw your light coming before you did, and now it's your turn to see it too. Part 3. The season of the tomb was never the end. There is a moment in every chosen one's journey that feels like death. Not physical death, but the death of the version of you that tried to fit in, that tried to be accepted, that tried to shrink the assignment to make other people comfortable. That version had to die, because you cannot step into a resurrection without first surviving a burial. Some of you are in that tomb right now. You feel invisible. You feel like everything you built is crumbling. You feel like the silence around you is permanent. And I need to speak directly to you. The tomb is not your ending. The tomb is your transition. Every great story has a Saturday, the day between death and resurrection, where everything is quiet and nothing makes sense and hope feels foolish. But Saturday doesn't last. Sunday always comes. And when it comes for you, it will come with a force so undeniable that every person who buried you will witness your emergence and not be able to explain it. God has a history of using tombs. He used the pit to position Joseph. He used the wilderness to ignite Moses. He used the prison to elevate Paul. And he is using your season of silence to build something in you that can only be built in the quiet. Don't rush the process. Don't beg to be released prematurely. Don't perform for people who placed you in this season. The stone will be rolled away. Not because you fought it, not because you forced it, but because what God placed inside you cannot be permanently contained by any human hands built. Your grave clothes are already loose. Can you feel it? That restlessness, that knowing, that sense that something is about to shift. That is not anxiety. That is assignment knocking from the inside. And when that door opens, nothing will ever be the same. Part 4. Walk out. The world has been waiting. I need you to stop treating your gifts like liabilities. Stop apologizing for the depth of your empathy. Stop dimming your vision to match smaller rooms. Stop asking permission from people who were never assigned to your destiny. The chosen ones make a critical mistake. They wait for validation from the very people who were assigned to challenge them. They look for approval in environments designed to limit them, and then they wonder why they feel stuck. You are not stuck. You are standing in the wrong room. The world that needs what you carry is not the world that has rejected you. It is the world you haven't stepped into yet. The people who need your voice haven't heard it yet. The lives your story will transform haven't encountered it yet. And you are keeping them waiting because someone from your past made you believe you weren't ready. Let me be clear. You were ready before they told you no.
You were chosen before they told you weren't. You were anointed before they tried to anoint someone else. Their rejection was never God's rejection. It was God's redirection. And it was pointing you here, to this moment, to this understanding. Now listen carefully. The chosen ones don't announce themselves. They simply walk in their purpose, and the announcement makes itself. You don't need to argue with the people who doubted you. You don't need to prove anything to the ones who left. You don't need to return to spaces that were designed to minimize you. Your assignment is not behind you. It is ahead. And the only thing standing between you and the life God designed for you is the moment you decide to stop carrying the weight of who they told you to be. Put it down. Right now, in this moment, put it down and pick up the identity that was written for you before the foundations of the earth were laid. You are chosen, not because you are perfect, not because you have it all figured out, but because God looked at every version of what He could create, and He chose to make you, specifically, intentionally, powerfully, and it's time you walked like it. So here is what I need you to carry with you. Every wound was a school. Every rejection was a redirection. Every person who feared you was a prophet who confirmed your power without even knowing it. They didn't walk away because you were too little. They walked away because you were too much light, too much depth, too much calling. And the world isn't looking for people who are just enough. The world is dying for people who are finally willing to be everything they were created to be. That person is you. Your tomb is empty now. The grave clothes are on the floor. The stone has been rolled away. The silence of Saturday is over. Walk out. Walk out into the fullness of what God built inside you. Walk out with your scars and your wisdom. Walk out with every lesson carved into your journey. Walk out not for the ones who doubted you, but for the ones who need what only you can give. This is your resurrection moment, and I need you to take it seriously, because there are people on the other side of your obedience whose lives will be changed by your courage. Don't make them wait any longer. If this message changed something in you today, subscribe to this channel right now. New videos every week designed to remind you of exactly who you were made to be. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning, and it is going to be extraordinary.